Good morning. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I really, from time to time, as you know, I get special letters from people doing special things, and I'm amazed at how watching somebody else on a video can inspire someone to do something great. We had that letter from a friend, a subscriber, who had started watching some of the things, let's face it, very humble things that we've been doing, just building a house, helping someone like that, and all by the help of our subscribers. So we've been able to do some things, and Beth and I, just two of us, running a little mission, along with the help of Pastor Timio and the Superman team who do the building, were able to help in a small way, one little thing at a time. Well, this particular guy that I'm talking about had a big disappointment. I talked about him before, and then he was so discouraged he sat on the couch watching television for 2 years. Well, there's a few people have done that before now, and I have to admit that at times that I've been there myself, a long time ago, of course, now. But anyway, that particular man has now bought a ticket, a one-way ticket, I believe, to Cambodia. He's going over there to start a soup kitchen, to help children with their supplies at school. All kinds of wonderful things that he's going to do, and he did that by watching a video. He got hope. He began to hope again. Well, a little while ago I had a letter from, I'm sure that he won't mind me saying, Chris. His name is Chris, and I believe, if my memory serves me right, he's actually based in Australia. Now, what attracted me to his letter at first was that he makes rocking horses. Now, I'm not talking about something that's slapped together for a kid to jump on and knock about. I'm talking about things of extreme beauty, elegant, beautiful creations, which are almost like bought by adults who have no intention of letting some kid kick them about. And I started admiring these kinds of things from Victorian times, where they made the most beautiful rocking horses for very spoiled Victorian children of rich families. And I remember there was a house in London where a grand Georgian house, and in the bay window of this Georgian house there was one of these rocking horses. Well, things come around, don't they? And this man wrote to me, and he told me that he is struggling to keep a mission going, working in prison. Now, I intended to read that letter because it was so incredibly inspiring. He spent $60,000 of his own money equipping a workshop in a prison, and I think it's in some section of Manila. I don't want to be too specific about that, even if I knew. But anyway, there's a lot of corruption, and these prisoners who are already suffering a life of extreme hardship, okay, they're criminals and they deserve it, fine, that's another video. That's a different context that we're talking about. What we're talking about here is a man who had a mission of sharing what he could in doing fine woodwork, making pieces of art, and what he did was, as soon as he could raise enough money from selling his work, which I'm sure that he sold a ton of it, he used that money to open a mission inside the prison, and he would go there and his girlfriend would help him, and they would teach prisoners something that would keep them out of prison when they finally got out. Well, anyway, I responded to that letter because I love rocking horses, and I asked him to send me some photographs. Now, I have a link of that somewhere. If someone in Australia wants to help this man by buying a rocking horse of extreme beauty, then they can get in touch with me, and I will make an effort and I'll find that link somewhere in my emails. But right now Chris has written to me, and I want to read the letter. It's both disappointing or discouraging, and yet both extremely inspiring, because this man is a man of great courage and has to be congratulated. He is an awesome guy. So he says, "Good evening. I am returning to my prison mission tomorrow. Just a short note to say I am greatly encouraged by your blog, so hope I can visit you next year. Yes, you can, and I would be honoured to see you and talk about your work, and hopefully you will bring a portfolio with you so that I can enjoy it even more. So I hope I can visit you next year. Worried about the new attitude of the president. Just the thought of reintroducing capital punishment is so terrible." Well, Chris knows people personally who may be, I don't know, may actually become part of this new rule and lose their lives in prison. So, he says, "I know for a fact that even though convicted, most of my boys are innocent, or it was just self-defense. My boys are poor and could not afford a real court attorney but the real criminals can pay bribes and are free. I love your work and think you are so blessed having your wonderful Beth in your life." Yes, I do, and I am blessed. "I also have a wonderful young woman who is working with me in the prison. Sadly, I cannot spend more than a few days with her this trip. It's so difficult trying to overcome deeply entrenched corruption in the prison." Now, in the last letter that I received, he was talking about how when it's thousands of prisoners and they have a daily allowance that's made by the government of, say, it was something very, very small, 50 or 60 pesos a day to feed a man. And what would happen is that they would cut that in half, maybe use 29 pesos a day to feed each one of these prisoners. And then, because of the sheer number of people that were in the big prisons, the money that they would put in their pocket would be awesome. But you think about that, just what kind of a crime that is, that they're taking food that was already absolutely down to the bone and they're putting that money in their pockets. Disgraceful. But God is good. Despite many setbacks, our mission continues. Praying things will work out. We'll send you pictures of our work. The good Lord has somehow encouraged people to order more horses. Funny thing, but my mission rides on a wooden horse's back. And that is a touch of irony, isn't it? So he's saying, God bless Chris, the rocking horse maker. And yes, God bless you, Chris. But it's the letter itself that is so incredible, that this man is doing what he does, and he pays for it out of his money. He goes home and he gets in his shop and he makes rocking horses, and then he sells them, and he takes some of that money and he puts it to one side, and when he has enough he goes back to the prison and sets up his mission again, and he's doing it one trip at a time, even sacrificing his time with his girlfriend. So Chris, you are a man to be admired, and please, if anybody wants to see these rocking horses, I've seen small thumbnail pictures of them, but they are made, I can see that they're made in the true rocking horse in the Victorian and Georgian era, in that style. Absolutely beautiful pieces of artwork that I would love to have. If you can, Chris, if you can wrap one up and put it into a small manila envelope, folding it very carefully into a flat pack, and just pop it in the mail for me, I'd be very grateful. Just kidding. I wish I could afford to buy one. So, thanks for looking in. This has been, I hope, a story of inspiration. Chris, you are a wonderful man. Keep up your good work, and when you can come and visit, and I will be so delighted to welcome you and look at your work. It will be great. Thanks for looking in. I'm a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.